if you've been following me on Facebook, if you've been following the Reup on Facebook, you know we got an author that will be speaking with us in just a few moments. We have Javelle Lewis on the line with us right now, and he's one of the co-authors of a book that's called Soulgasm for Men. And so I'm gonna start with that. Javelle, how you doing? Say hi to the people.
I'm doing good. Hello, everybody. It's good to be here, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. And I hope our listening audience is doing good. Now, when I saw the name of that book, man, I was like, wow, what is this about? This is just really, it definitely piqued my interest. So tell me a little bit about what Soulgasm for Men is all about.
All right, well, Soulgasm for Men, well, where the name came from is, like you said, I am one of the co-authors. There's 4 authors in total, and we was all trying to come up with a way of how can we, reach the people and let them know that we want them to reach their full potential in life. We want them to climax in life, and we all know when you climax, it's a gasm, but we want this to be of your body, of your mind, and spirit. So we thought Soulgasm would be a great way to express reaching your own personal potential and reaching your own climaxing for your own life and to be able to reach your own future.
Wow, that's good. And so, and as you alluded to, is 4 different authors that contributed to this book. Is this a fictional book or is it, a nonfiction?
No, it's a fictional piece.
Okay.
And the 4 of us, we each kind of took a little bit of our personal experiences as well as created some experiences that we've all heard about and faced. And it's just a collaboration of, 4 guys at different various stages of life who are going through the areas of life, growing up in the inner city, and who are not quite sure about their own identity, who they are, and what it means to be a man. So the book kind of starts with, them, without giving too much, them not knowing who they are, and then later in life, finding out, what their real purpose is as it pertains to God and their family and their self, just how to be a man and survive in today's world.
Wow, that is extremely awesome. Now, when you guys wrote this book, did you guys kind of take, because is it 4 guys that the book is about?
Yes.
So each of you kind of took the personality of those guys? Am I hearing that correctly?
Yes, actually, we had to kind of put ourselves in the shoes of these 4 guys. And like I said, along with some personal experiences, kind of made it so the people of today would understand with some of the things that they're facing in today's world. Because things that, we faced growing up in the 70s and 80s, they're not facing today.
Wow, that is so creative, man. That is so creative. I don't think I've ever really read a book like that. So
no, that was our biggest thing, trying to be original and trying to give something back to the people, something that we've learned, trying to share our experiences so that young men don't, make the same mistakes we made.
Absolutely. Now, being one of the authors of this book, can you talk to me a little bit about your background and some of the experiences that you've had personally that you were probably able to kind of pull from to create the character that you represent kind of in this book?
Okay, yeah. Well, personally, I come from a single family home where my dad wasn't present and my mom, she was in and out doing her best to take care of me and my siblings. So as the youngest sibling, as the youngest of 3, I was able to sit back and more watch what my older brother and older sister were really going through without having to, they didn't even have any type of guidance. Like I said, our father wasn't there, and our mom, she was out hustling, doing the best that she could to keep the lights on and keep bills paid. So to kind of, as a youngest, sit back and just watch how they were just trying to watch them develop and watch the mistakes they made. And I tried my best not to make those same mistakes.
Okay.
And that's pretty much how I came up with my character.
Wow. And you kind of put so this is one of those books that to me sounds like it actually could turn into a play and into a movie pretty easily.
Yes, definitely could. We're actually hoping to turn it into a play.
Wow, that's really good. So as far as the mission and the purpose of this book? What do you guys hope to kind of accomplish? I know you probably touched on it a little bit earlier, but just sum up what's the mission, what's the vision, what's the purpose of this particular book for young men?
Okay, so the main purpose of this book is just to help young men find out their identity, who they really are. Because for me, it took me until I was about 30 years old to really understand who I was, my purpose being here, to give thanks and grace to God for allowing me to make it as far as I made it. It took me a long time to really understand that and understand what all that meant. So the main purpose, we just want these young men, ages about 17 to 24, 25, to just really understand that if they seek God first, then everything else will just fall into place as far as understanding who they are and why they're meant here on earth.
Wow. That's good. That's good. Now, something you said earlier kind of sparked my interest, and I actually relate to it. I talk to a lot, or I speak to that a lot on this show. And that's, you said your father wasn't around. And like I'm 38 years old. I just met my father 2 years ago. And so with Father's Day coming up this weekend, I really, one of my questions is just geared towards, are you a father right now?
Yes, I am. I have 2 boys.
2 boys. Okay, so what type of things have you actually taken from the experience with your father and brought into the relationship that you have with your kids now?
Okay. Well, although my father wasn't there in my life, I knew who he was. Like I knew him my whole life, but he was just never there, like taking care of me in the home, supporting me or anything like that. So the main thing that I said to myself was that once I have a family, no matter what, I was going to be there for them, just so that they had me to lean on, because I didn't have that. That's probably one of the biggest lessons that my father taught me by not being there, was that I have to be there for my children when I do have children.
That's good. That's good. And I can relate to that. That's the reason why I asked you that question. I can really relate to that so much because I have 5 boys, and that's just my goal. No matter what the obstacles are, I'm it's every day, trying to make sure that I'm in their life, and when I mean in their life, just physically being able to kind of mentor them or help grow them up spiritually. And again, there's no hard feelings at all against my father, because, I really believe in God's, sovereign purpose, you know what I mean? So in my life, so I don't feel like I've missed anything. And now I feel even more grace because I've gotten the opportunity to meet him and have him back in my life and actually see little pieces of my life that, I didn't recognize initially. So, definitely a good thing. And the reason why I bring that up is because I really think, Father's Day kind of gets swept under the rug sometimes, it falls back. But, one, there's good fathers out there, and then there's fathers out there, that, may have struggled a little bit, but again, it took 2 to bring people into this world. So even if we want to honor him for just being, a part of that process of making sure we got here, you know what I mean, or helping us get there, I think it's important that we show honor there. And then if you still don't want to do that, we got our Father above that we want to honor as well. So and definitely keep him in mind. So Soulgasm for Men, man, I tell you, I can't wait to get my hands on a copy of this book. Can you tell our listening audience how they can get a copy of this book?
Yes, the book is going to be released on July 18th. It will be available to the public online. You can get it directly at the publisher's website, which is www.extremeoverflow.com.
Okay.
And it will be available July 18th.
July 18th is when that book comes out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And they can go to, and what was the publisher address one more time? Because I'm going to type that up on our Facebook page.
Okay, it's www.extremeoverflow.com.
All right, y'all heard it. Soulgasm for Men. Now I'm gonna leave the floor for you right now to kind of give a last kind of parting words with our audience. Anything that's on your mind, on your heart that you want to reach out to young men or about the book, it's all yours.
Okay. Well, first, I want to give a big shout out to the Reup Show and thank you for having me on. And my last parting words that I would say is that young men, fellas, your future can only shine as bright as you can see it. So dream big every day, and stop at nothing to make those dreams come true, and you will amaze yourself at what you can do.
All right, y'all heard it. Javelle Lewis, right here, one of the authors of the book that's going to come out. And that's June 18th, right?
July 18th.
July 18th. I'm sorry. We are. June 18th is right around the corner, but July 18th, Soulgasm for Men. Javelle Lewis is one of the authors. June Penn, Shakaya Parker, and then Gaylord Penn Sr. I got one last question before we go. Did you guys all know each other before you started writing this book?
We actually did. Actually, June Penn is my brother-in-law, and Shaki Parker is a family friend of ours, and Gaylord Penn is my father-in-law.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, I'll tell you, this is one, I mean, very, very creative. I can't tell you, just in recent memory, I can't even think of a book that's like this. So, just from that standpoint, it's something that I want to definitely have in my collection. And then the positive of just being able to speak into young men's life, because I think that's just so important right now. Men, we're the covering of our households, and for so long it's just we've been kind of out of place. And so things like this that can pour into us and encourage us and get us in our rightful place can only help. I mean, not only just men, but women. If you're listening, you know, get a copy of this book and get it into some of the young men in your life as well. All right.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, Javelle, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time talking with us. Oh, and real quick, tell people where you're at.
Where I am?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where you're representing?
Oh yeah, I'm representing Georgia.
Georgia. All right,
yeah.
Calling all the way from Georgia, y'all. That's what the Reup. We reaching out to them. All right. So Javelle, I do appreciate you, man. I do thank you for taking the time to call in and talk with us about this book, and we definitely will support, man.
I appreciate the support, and thank you very much for having me on the show, and I appreciate the viewers for taking the time to listen to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, you have a blessed one.
Thank you. You do the same.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right, y'all. That was Javelle Lewis, one of the authors for Soulgasm for Men. I tell you, that's just, I can't say that enough. That's an interesting book. You got 4 different artists writing from 4 different perspectives about the characters in a fictional book. I mean, I really haven't really heard that before. So I'm excited about how that works and how that will work out. So July 18th, make sure that you get a copy of that particular book.